Welcome to Local SEO Today. I'm Roger Murphy.
And I'm John Vaughn.
We want to welcome you to this podcast. John, we want to talk today about content marketing. It's very important. It's part of the marketing mix for businesses today. And there's mistakes. We want to talk about 7 mistakes that you need to avoid if you're going to do it well. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think the first one that we're going to talk about is, I think everyone does it, not knowing that they do it. And it's really making sure that your content is not as promotional as it should be.
It should be informative.
Yes.
Informational as opposed to promotional. Yeah.
Exactly, because everyone's being sold something, right? So think about it the other way. So do people like getting sold anything? Like, you as a user, you want to be informed, you want to be educated, you want to have choice.
That's right. They want to discover and learn.
Exactly.
So that's what you want to do, is you want to educate people as opposed to promoting something at them.
And position yourself as the authoritative figure or expert, right? So the more credibility you have, the better it is. So the more you put out there, position yourself as the expert.
Yeah. You almost want to think of it in terms of, you hear this term, and they've even written a movie or had a movie, it's called Pay It Forward.
Yeah.
But giving something away of value, it's information, give that information away, that actually makes someone become, stickier with you and your business when they see that, they're offering me quality ideas or information that I can use.
And really make it so that it feels like you actually care, right? Because when you start selling stuff or promoting stuff, it's so much of a sales pitch, right? It's like car salesmen.
Yeah.
People hate being sold, right? They want to be in control, right? So the second thing is you aren't providing value, right? So content marketing, what is the purpose of that content piece? Right? Why are you putting it out in the first place? Is it to position yourself as the expert, giving something of value like information?
Yes.
Some new study, research, something that has to be compelling enough for people to actually read it.
Exactly. Whatever it is, the 5 ideas on how to, whatever product or service you have, providing information and education to them that they can take away with them.
Yeah, so make sure that they can speak to your audience, right? You know who your users are and your customers, so speak directly to them, and even maybe find out what kind of content pieces they're looking to want from you, right? And then write something for them.
Exactly.
Right?
And once you've done this content, the next mistake a lot of people do is, when they put it out there, John, it's not easy to share. So it's there, but when you want to amplify that message and have somebody pass around your message, which is what you want, you're not making it easy to do that.
Yeah, so how engaging is it, and how do you amplify it? So are you currently having a comment section on that content piece, or is there share buttons on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, your LinkedIn profile? There's a lot of places that people can, share your article.
Exactly.
And the fourth thing is really not having your content piece long enough. So people really, should really put a lot of time and effort in making sure that it is well-researched content that brings value to your audience.
As opposed to just a few lines or a few paragraphs. It's not engaging enough, and it's not memorable enough, or memorable, I should say. So that's the idea, yes. Longer, well-written, that's got good content.
Substance, right?
Substance.
It's very similar to, articles in a newspaper or magazine. It's well-researched. People spend a lot of hours putting that together, right? Doing a lot of surveys and interviews to put that piece together, right? So what you're planning on doing is, again, it's not easy to create content, so the more information that you gather, the more hard work it is to have quotes from certain people, pulling data from certain sources, or creating your own survey and data. the more you put into it, the better, the more rewarding it is, right?
One of the next mistake, which ties in with this, is really, is it grammatically correct? If it's got poor grammar, that weakens it. It's just not as impactful when people read your content, and if it's got mistakes in it, spelling mistakes, you really need a proofreader to go through it.
Yeah, editors are so critical today, like, especially if you're not a writer yourself, right? Like, you're a business owner, right? And how much time do you have to even write a professional piece, let alone do all the surveys and outreach to do interviews? I mean, for you to then try to make sure that there's no grammatical errors, like, just hire someone that actually does this for a living and get it done right.
Exactly, because again, when you see simple mistakes, it really, you lose that the idea that you are an expert and you're providing valid information. If someone reads your content and goes, they have spelling mistakes in this, it doesn't look good upon you. So get a proofread.
Yeah, I think the next thing that we want to talk about is making sure that your title or subject is catchy, because if it doesn't sell or it doesn't get people to click on that content piece, you've kind of wasted all your time putting that together, right? So make sure that whatever that title is, it's catchy enough that whoever's maybe interested will click on that link.
It has to obviously be attention-getting, but it leads into that it's a well-researched and it's an important piece of information, substantive article or document that you're putting out anyway.
Yeah. So, and make sure that, maybe it's a Google trending topic or something that a lot of people are kind of wanting to read, right? Make sure that it's catchy, and the way that it's put out, laid out throughout your piece, make sure there's specific things, like maybe there's numbers or how to, like lists are very easy to read. Like make sure that whatever you're putting out there, make it easy for your users to actually ingest, right? As opposed to just huge paragraphs without any kind of formatting.
Exactly, and that's really the number 7, which is the last mistake. Make it natural, make it easy to read, make it easy to, as you say, consume, John.
Yeah, and I think, one thing that I do want to mention is make sure your written article is not for the purpose of search engines. Make it written for your users.
For your audience.
Yeah. So write for your user intent, right? And Google will determine that and figure things out based on that. The more natural it is, the better it is, right? People are now so focused on writing just for search engines that people stuff keywords, and it just doesn't,
Yes, it doesn't look natural.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for that SEO optimized page, and that is having a certain keyword showing up a certain percentage of time for every number of words that are on the page. But this is natural, easy to read, informative content. So write it as if you're writing it to one person for them to comprehend.
Yeah, the more natural it is, the better engagement you're going to get, and the more shares you might get, and the more clicks you're going to get, which ultimately will result in hopefully a call to action of what your desire of that content piece
was in the first place.
Exactly. So that's 7 content marketing mistakes to avoid, really.
So John, thank you for these tips and tricks. We hope you've enjoyed this today and you've taken something away from our podcast. We'll see you again at Local SEO Today.
Thank you.
Thank you.